Hi everyone and welcome to NCHC Between the Boards. I'm Greg Ankers. Coming up on tonight's show, we feast on all the highlights from Thanksgiving weekend, including 3 series involving NCHC teams against the Big Ten. We'll tell you about Judd Peterson and his jump for the St. Cloud State defense as he goes from his freshman year into his sophomore campaign. And we'll preview the games coming up starting tonight, including not one, but 2 top 10 showdowns within the NCHC. We'll get to all of that coming up, but we first drop the puck on our Spotlight series, taking us back to a series at Mariucci Arena last weekend between number 7th ranked St. Cloud State and Minnesota. The Huskies entering the weekend with the 3rd ranked offense in all the country, looking to keep their offensive prowess intact, going up against a freshman netminder for the Golden Gophers. That freshman netminder is Eric Shearhorn for Minnesota. He's been one of their better players so far this season, but St. Cloud jumps on him early. 3.5 minutes in on a power play, David Morley alone down low gives the Huskies an early 1-0 lead. Middle of the second at the other end, Charlie Lindgren looking fantastic with the kick save and then a glove save. This one worthy of another glance. Gophers on the doorstep, but Lindgren slams it shut. A nice kick save and then comes up with the glove to keep the puck out of his net. But later in the period, Minnesota with a man advantage, and it's going to be Jake Bischoff with a big one-time blast from inside the blue line. That one does get by Lindgren. We're tied up at 1. A minute after that, the Gophers back on the attack. Leon Bristedt going to go wraparound style and beats Lindgren to the post. Minnesota grabs a 2-1 advantage headed into the third. Poor second period for St. Cloud, but they do respond. In the closing period on the power play, David Morley to Jimmy Murray. Murray on the doorstep, first crack, no, second chance at it, yes, to tie things up at 2. Minutes after that, nice give and go here. David Morley to Joey Bennett for the finish. St. Cloud State goes up 3-2. They would win by that score. Nice special teams for St. Cloud as they go 2 for 3 on the power play and bounce back after a disappointing second period.
We had a strong first period, and we kind of came out and laid an egg in the second, and then the third we knew what we had to do, and we came out there and we finished the game. And I think personally, and I know a lot of other guys agree, it's a tough building to play in. I mean, it's a big building, it's pretty quiet, so there's not a whole lot of atmosphere.
The teams took Saturday off, resumed the series on Sunday, and St. Cloud State's potent offense on full display on Sunday. The soft Minnesota D leads to this. Patrick Newell to David Morley. Morley gives the St. Cloud a 2-1 advantage after 1 in the second. 1:11 in on a power play. Joey Bennett, the cross-ice feed to Judd Peterson. He finishes to give the St. Cloud Huskies a 3-1 lead. 40 seconds after Minnesota makes it 3-2. St. Cloud back on a power play, and Peterson with the one-timer from the circle is good. That makes it 4-2 St. Cloud. They weren't done in the period, and they weren't done on the power play. Ethan Prow comes up with the initial shot here. Patrick Russell there for the rebound, and it's 5-2 St. Cloud. Minnesota, though, hanging around in this one, working a man advantage of their own. And Leon Bristedt saw the wraparound he had on Friday. He gets the finisher here to make it a 5-3 game after 2. But in the third, St. Cloud State back on another power play, and Blake Winicki going to get the goal here to make it 6-3 as St. Cloud State gets the sweep with the 7-4 victory thanks to 4 power play goals for St. Cloud as they finish off the Gophers.
Anytime you can get 2 wins on the road, that's big, and especially coming into this building since they really let that happen, and it's a good feeling. I mean, for us seniors, this is probably our last time ever playing here, so that's good for us, and kind of sets a precedence for the younger guys coming into this building of how we can take care of business.
Coming up next, we dive back into the highlights as the NCHC continues to flex its muscles against the Big Ten. Welcome back. 5th-ranked North Dakota made the trip to East Lansing, Michigan last week for the first time since 1980 in a series against the Spartans of Michigan State. And it also marked a changing of the guard for UND in net as Cam Johnson made his first start between the pipes since October the 10th. North Dakota would get off to a strong start in this one, just a minute 35 in. Tucker Poolman with a big blast from just inside the blue line. That gets past everyone. North Dakota takes an early 1-0 advantage. Later in the period, off a Michigan State turnover, Nick Schmaltz going to drop it off for Drake Kajula, and Kajula skates in and finishes to give North Dakota a 2-0 lead after one. In the second, off another turnover by the Spartans, just 32 seconds into the period, Schmaltz back to Kajula, crashing in, but finishes first. It's 3-0 UND. At the other end, Cam Johnson making his first start since October 10th, and he was brilliant. Makes the save here as UND goes on to win 3-1. Johnson 24 saves on 25 shots. Kajula, Schmaltz, and Besser combined for 5 points on the day. The teams took Saturday off, but they'd finish the series in a Sunday matinee. And this one a little bit of a slow start for North Dakota. They find themselves down 1-0 in the first, but Joel Janatuinen on the backside gets his first career goal, tie things up at 1 apiece. Then a minute after that, Schmaltz to Kajula. Kajula again with the finishing touch as North Dakota grabs a 2-1 lead after one. In the second, North Dakota working a power play. Troy Stetcher holding the zone. Brock Besser with the big blast here to make it 3-1 UND. Then later in the period, skating shorthanded. Stop me if you've heard this combination before. Schmaltz ahead to Kajula. Kajula again with the finish. UND goes on to get the sweep with the 4-1 win. Cam Johnson, another brilliant outing with 33 saves, keeping his team in it despite the slow start.
It wasn't the greatest start. We were told to be ready today, and we really weren't. But Cam kept us in the game for sure in the first period, and it was lucky for us and really good for us to get out of the first 2-1 up.
We had a bit of a slow start today, but we regrouped in the first intermission, came back, had a strong second and third, and closed out the weekend. And anytime you can get a sweep on the road, it's great for the guys.
Sixth-ranked Omaha looked to stay hot last weekend, having scored no less than 3 goals in a game since getting swept at Western Michigan at the end of October. The Mavericks looking to close out November unbeaten as they played host to Ohio State. And after a scoreless opening period, just a minute 12 into the second, Omaha on the attack. Austin Ortega, the nice cross-ice feed to Luke Snuggerud. He buries it to give the Mavericks a 1-0 lead. Later in the period, more Omaha attack. Justin Parizek skating into the zone, goes cross-ice to David Pope, and that makes it 2-0 Omaha after 2 in the third. Ohio State attacking. Evan Wenninger, a great initial stop, but the puck scoots out to Craig Dalrymple, who buries it for the Buckeyes, but Omaha goes on to win 3-1. Evan Wenninger, 34 saves on 35 shots as the Mavs take the opener, winning 3-1. How about the series finale on Saturday? Plenty more scoring ahead. 30 seconds in, this is Omaha's first rush up the ice, and it's David Pope with the initial shot and Ortega there with the finish. Omaha takes a 1-0 lead just like that. Tied at 1 later in the period on a power play from the faceoff. Jake Gensel with the goal here to put Omaha out in front 2-1 as the teams go into the locker room. In the second now, midway through, Omaha on a man advantage. Great zone entry and great finish by Ortega. That's why he leads the NCAA with 12 goals on the season as Omaha goes up 3-1. They would build on that lead later in the period on a power play. Frederick Olofsson with options but shoots and scores to make it 5-1. Omaha holds off Ohio State though. 6-4 is the final as they get the sweep, going 3 for 6 on the power play.
I know our coaches are focusing a lot on 5 working harder than 4, and I think that's something we really thought about and took into account. So I know that when we were out there on the power play, we had a couple of them. We just made sure to be all over the puck and make sure we had movement and outwork their 4. So I think that was the key to our success tonight.
Still to come, we've got more holiday highlights ahead, including a Colorado College Tigers team still looking for their first win. Could they do it against crosstown rival Air Force? Those highlights are next. Welcome back. Colorado College is finally getting a break from the top 20. All 10 of their last meetings have been against ranked opponents, including 8 in the top 10. They got a break away from ranked teams this past weekend, taking on crosstown rival Air Force in the battle for Pikes Peak Trophy. We pick this one up midway through the second period. Air Force leading 2-1 and on the attack. Tyler Marble going to come up with a great initial save, but the long rebound comes out to Jordan Himley, who finishes, and the Falcons take a 3-1 lead. But moments later, CC finding the soft spot. It's Hunter Feges who beats the goaltender there to make it 3-2 after 2. In the third, Colorado College looking for the all-important lead in the third. On the power play, Trey Bradley skates in and scores to tie things up at 3 goals apiece. In the closing seconds, thoughts are going to overtime, but Air Force wins the puck battle there, and it's Himley with the one-timer blast as Air Force goes on to get the win. 4-3 the final. That clinches Pikes Peak Trophy as CC still looking for their first win on the season. Could they get it on their home ice Saturday night series finale, playing for pride and everything else, trailing 1-0 in the first on a power play? Cody Bradley with the initial shot finished off by Luke Gertis, tying things up at 1 after 1. In the second, CC working some bodies down in front on this power play. Chaos out in front. Sam Rothstein gets the equalizer to tie it up at 2 apiece. Then in the third, more bodies near the crease, and it's going to be Rothstein again with the finish here to put CC out in front 3-2. They can smell it. Later in the period, Cody Bradley with some great play down low here, gets the finish there. CC goes up 4-2. They hang on to win 4-3. Yes, the Tigers with their first W of the year, and Coach Mike Havlin proud of his guys following the victory.
You know, it's kind of a new thing for us, so it could, you know, you hopefully it goes your way, but I liked our compete level. I liked the way we battled on one-on-one battles tonight and did the little things to deserve to win a hockey game.
Over the holiday weekend, Western Michigan returned to the Shillelagh tournament looking to defend its tournament title from a year ago. Western Michigan entering the weekend looking to snap a 4-game losing streak, opening this year's Shillelagh tournament at Notre Dame against RPI. And the Broncos would find themselves in a battle, trailing 1-0 in the second. RPI on a power play. Riley Bourbonnais gets it by Colin Olson, even though Olson gets a piece of that one as RPI grabs a 2-0 lead. Seconds after that, Chaos out in front. 5 guys out in front of Olson. He can't see anybody. Somehow it finds the stick of Lou Nanny, and that makes it 3-0 Engineers. Western Michigan gets a break. Later in the period, Parker Reno just trying to clear the puck. It goes off of his own teammate's skate and in. And Western Michigan will take it. That makes it a 3-1 game. Later in the second, looking to chip into the lead, Matheson Iacopelli with the chance for the Broncos, but he can't finish. RPI goes on to win 4-1. Western Michigan, though, out shooting the Engineers 26-24 on the day, so getting chances, maybe just not quality chances. Could they get some against host Notre Dame in the third-place game of the Shillelagh? Notre Dame would strike first after a scoreless opening period. In the second, Dawson Cook with the backhand wraparound there, giving the Irish a 1-0 advantage. Western answers back, though, on a power play later in the period. Corey Schooneman with the shot. Frederick Tiffels knocks it in, and we're tied at 1 after 2. In the third, though, here come the Irish. Sam Herr with the tip-in goal here coming up for Notre Dame to make it 2-1. Then late in the game, Western Michigan trying to battle back into it, but Thomas DePauli finds the open spot and scores for the Irish as they go on to win 3-1. Western Michigan now losers of 6 straight. Another 32 shots on goal, but another loss for the Broncos.
We're a team that's going through a tough situation right now. I mean, tough is a very light word when you've lost 6 in a row. But you got to keep your head up. You got to come to work every day. And as I said, you know, if you're looking for a helping hand, it's at the end of your arm. So we got to help ourselves and dig in here.
A successful weekend for North Dakota on the ice has led to several honors for players off of it. Offensive Player of the Week honors this week go to Drake Kajula. The senior forward had 4 goals and an assist, including 2 game winners in that sweep over Michigan State. Kajula now second in the NCAA with 11 goals on the season. His teammate Tucker Poolman takes home defensive honors this week. Sophomore D-man had 1 goal and 2 assists against Michigan State, including leading a penalty kill that went 8 for 9 on the weekend. Pullman also registered a +3 rating. Rookie of the Week honors go to Colorado College forward Trey Bradley, who had a goal and an assist against Air Force, helping lead the Tigers to get their first victory of the season. And back to North Dakota for Goaltender of the Week honors, they go to Cam Johnson, the sophomore netminer who returned to action this past weekend after injury, stopped 57 of 59 shots against the Spartans, allowing just 1 goal in each game. He's now 3-0-1 on the season. And with the turn of the calendar, we recognize the Players of the Month for November in the NCHC. Player of the Month honors go to Nick Schmaltz, sophomore forward from UND, who for the month was second in the NCAA with 15 points, including 13 assists, which led all of college hockey. He also led the NCAA with a +14 rating for last month. Rookie honors go to Evan Wenninger, goaltender from Omaha. He went 5-0-0 in November and led all NCAA freshmen with a .944 save percentage. He was third among NCAA goaltending freshmen with a 2.18 goals allowed average. The polls look like this week. North Dakota moves up 1 spot to number 4. Everybody else stays the same. Omaha, St. Cloud State, and Denver all cracking the top 10, while Minnesota Duluth holds at number 17. The USA Today poll, very reflective. North Dakota 4, followed by Omaha, St. Cloud State, also entering the top 10. Still to come on the program, he's making big strides from year 1 to year 2 at St. Cloud State. We talk about Judd Peterson coming up next. Welcome back. He's a 2012 7th-round draft pick of the NHL Buffalo Sabres. And after a relatively tentative first year on the D-Corps for St. Cloud State, Judd Peterson is making big strides in his sophomore campaign.
You see it so many times as a freshman. You see the ups and downs and the emotional roller coaster that a freshman can go through. When things don't go well, to them the world's crashing.
Last year, Coach always told me that I was more of a thinker last year. I'd always get the puck and I'd look to pass first and think, what should I do next?
I thought he was actually pretty good last year. You know, people want to talk about it. He didn't have a lot of goals, but he was on the doorstep a lot and it just didn't go in. And that was more of a mindset thing than anything for him.
He had a terrific offseason too. Trained his tail off. He's in great shape, and that builds confidence. And then he comes out and you know, is productive early. He just feels good about his game, and things are going well for him right now. And they're going to continue. He just put himself in a great position by his off-ice work this summer to get himself in probably the best shape and condition he's been in.
When he got to campus, you could just tell that he had a different mindset this year, and you can see it out in practice and in the games. He really works really hard.
This year, so far that I've started off, you know, I'm just reacting. I'm just playing the game and stuff. So I think I'm getting more opportunities for myself just because I'm playing the game of hockey instead of trying to think it and break it down so much. So I think that's helping me.
And now he's just playing hockey, which is great. I think it comes from training hard, where when you're training hard over the summer, you expect to be better, you expect results, so he's prepared. And that equates to confidence for him, and that equates to him just turning his mind off and playing hockey.
The kid's got all the speed and skill in the world, so it's nice to see it coming together for him, and really to see him do this is kind of a joy for everyone in the locker room. Hopefully he can continue his hot little trend here.
He's playing with confidence, and it's going to continue to roll for him.
Peterson credits his off-season workouts for helping increase the speed that he is now displaying on the ice. Still to come tonight, we preview this weekend's upcoming games, including not 1, but 2 top 10 showdowns within the NCHC. Two of the hottest and highly ranked teams in the country are on a collision course in Grand Forks this weekend as number 9 Denver travels to face number 4 North Dakota. It's a heated series that has been fueled with UND getting the edge in the last 10 games by a 5-4-1 record, and everybody knows what to expect going in.
They're very offensively gifted, that's for sure, and their coach does a great job with their power play and giving them that offensive leeway to make plays. And you know, we saw last year their defense were always up in the play. They had 4 guys up on the rush all the time,
that creates a lot of difficulties for us in the D zone. But you know, they got a great first line over there, and then they've got depth all the way through their lineup, just like we do.
Definitely a mirror weekend because they have a couple lines with a lot of scoring threats on it. They have a solid D-core. They have good goaltending. So throughout both teams, I think we're pretty equal in skill and talent.
They might be a little less tired than we are, but I think you get amped up for a weekend like Denver weekend. We're going to be pumped up. I don't think our legs being tired are going to be a factor on Friday night. I'm sure the energy in the Ralph is going to be unbelievable.
It's always a hard-fought battle. They play fast, they play hard, they play pretty similar to the way we do, especially when we play against them. And it just the two styles clash together, and it creates one heck of an environment.
It's going to be a good weekend, and it's going to be a good a proving point for our young group.
The other top 10 showdown within the league this weekend features 6th-ranked Omaha at number 7, St. Cloud State. These two teams are a combined 22-5-1 on the season, and they only have one loss between the pair of them from the month of November. Western Michigan travels to 17th-ranked Minnesota Duluth this weekend. Duluth anxious after outscoring CC 11-0 2 weeks ago, while Western Michigan is looking to snap a 6-game losing streak this weekend. And Miami is at Colorado College. Miami has not won since November 7th, while Colorado College is fresh off their first win of the season. We'll recap all of those games and have much more for you right here next week on NCHC Between the Boards. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games, everybody.